And welcome to part 3 of the Facing the Interface series. This video we're going to cover off the object list, what it is and how to use it, and we're going to get into how to manipulate objects in the workspace. Okay, moving on, we're going to talk about the object list now, and we're also going to discuss in this segment, we're going to discuss how to manipulate objects within the object list as well as within the workspace, since they go hand in hand. So on the right hand side of your interface, this area here is your object list. It's basically a management tool for keeping track of the objects that you place on your application area and the layer order of those objects. To demonstrate, I'm going to be placing some objects on our application area. As soon as I placed it on here, you see it show up here, and you see that it's selected here as well. It's highlighted here in black. Now, this is a text object, and we can tell it's a text object not only because it says text, but because of this icon here in the on the left-hand side. It shows a little A on a page. That's an icon for text. If we placed a button on there, you would see a little button icon. That's there because sometimes you change the labels of your text object or button object, and it doesn't make sense what the label is. You won't be able to tell what it is. So the icon's there to tell you what object it is. As well, you see a little eye here, and for Photoshop users and the other MediaChance product RealDraw users, you'll know that this eye means if you click on this eye, it hides and shows the object. So we can turn them on and off this way. Hide showing, and just like I showed you before, the hotkey for hide and showing an object is the spacebar. So without clicking on anything, I have the text button selected, press spacebar, and it disappears and the eye is crossed out. Click it again and it comes back. So I'm going to add some other objects here. We'll get a nice good picture. Here's an angry SpongeBob, and I'll throw on just for demonstration purposes, a script object and a flash object. And I'll just organize it there. Okay, now you'll see, as far as layering goes, you'll see that when I put on the picture, our button and our text disappeared. That's because the picture is on top of those two objects. And we can see that here. You can see that the flash is over top of the picture. So the object on the top of the object list is obviously the top layer. The text, which is now selected here in behind the picture, is on the bottom layer. We can rearrange the ordering of these layers through these buttons down here on the page toolbar. You'll see this button is the bring to front, send to back, bring forward, send backward. So if we want to bring the text forward one, forward again, it shows up on top of the bitmap that we have selected, or the text object shows up on top of the bitmap. So other thing I wanted to show you about the object list itself is this bar up top here. When you have an application, a large application, you end up having a lot of objects on here, and it can be confusing as to, especially when you start changing labels, what's what. You press this bar up top here. The object list automatically categorizes all your objects into groups. This is really handy for keeping all your graphics in one area, your text in one area. You know where to look for them automatically. So when you're getting confused, when you have all these objects on here and you want to find something quick, you click the bar, jump to whatever area you want to look at. Now also on the bottom of the object list there's another bar, and if you click that, it's a preview window basically. If you have some of your objects hidden, and when you select them, it'll still show you in a preview what that object looks like and what it is. So that's kind of handy when you have a whole bunch of objects on your page and some of them are hidden. The other thing I wanted to show you is that you have the ability to group objects together within the object list simply by selecting one object holding the Shift key down and selecting the other object. You can do that within the object list, or you can do that out on your workspace simply by selecting the one object, clicking, and then clicking. You'll see a little plus sign show up with the Shift key held down. You click on the other object and you'll see them both selected here. So now we can group these together. If you go down to your page toolbar, you'll see a little icon down here called group. You click on it, it throws them exactly into a group. Now you have a plus sign here on the bottom. If you click on that, it'll show you the objects within that group. Also, you have the ability now to hide and show all the objects within that group by simply clicking on the eye of the group. So we just closed or hidden the text and the picture simply by clicking once. The other thing you could do is, let's say we forgot to add one other object to that group. We wanted another object in there, the text button. Well, you select the text button, you hold the Shift key down, you select the group, and then you go down to the page toolbar at the bottom and you see this little icon with the red plus sign. That's Add to Group. That's the Add to Group button. So you click on that, it throws the text button into the group as you see here. Let's say we made a mistake, we didn't want it in there, let's take it out. So you select the object within the group that you want to remove, and you go down to the main or the page toolbar as well, and you see the little minus sign on this icon, and that's the remove the selected object from the group. You click on it, it puts it back out of the group. Since we're talking about how to manipulate objects as well, I'm going to quickly show you how to the various ways of selecting an object as well as moving it around on the workspace. You've already seen if you click on an object in the object list, it gets selected. You can also select it by dragging a selection rectangle around it by pressing your left mouse key and just dragging. And you can grab multiple objects by doing the same thing. Now, also for moving, you can just simply grab your object with your left mouse and move it around, or you can use some hotkeys. If you go up under the Arrange menu and the Nudge submenu, you'll see Pixel Up, Pixel Down, Pixel Left, Pixel Right. This is using your arrow keys, your up, down, left arrow keys. You can also use your Control key and your arrow keys to move 10 pixels at a time. So I'll show you that right now. If we grab the script menu here, this is just moving 1 pixel at a time, up and down. Now if we press the Control key and your arrow keys, you're jumping 10 pixels at a time. With a group, when the group is selected and you're manually dragging it around, you're moving both objects at once. You're moving the entire group of objects. If you want to move an individual object within the group, you select that individual object in the object list and then use your hotkeys. So you can jump it around within the group using hotkeys. But if you try and grab it and do it manually, you're going to end up grabbing the whole group and moving the whole group. So you can only move an object within a group with the hotkeys. And the last thing I wanted to show you is that there's a number of ways to get to an object's properties, either through the object list or on the workspace itself. You can get to an object's properties simply by double-clicking on the object in the workspace. You can get to it by right-clicking and selecting Properties. You can go up under Object and select Properties, or you can double-click on the object in the object list and get the Properties box as well. And that's it for this segment. That concludes this video tutorial. We hope you found it useful. For more Multimedia Builder video tutorials, please visit mmb.scogdev.ca.